Well, all right. Now, how's it going there? Today I thought we'd just try to see how to pronounce Firewood in as many different languages as we can here now, and we'll get started off here right now. I'm just kind of getting set up, and looks like we're going to be starting off with Bulgarian, and what I'll do is I'll guess how it's supposed to be pronounced first, and then I'll use the Google Translate button there and see how it's actually pronounced. So there'll probably be quite a difference on some of them, but others might be right on track. So Bulgarian there, they don't have the self-translate button, so we're just going to take a guess on that. I don't even want to try. Let's move on to Chinese. That seems easy enough. I'm going to say chai. Chai.
Chai. Chai.
Okay, so I was pretty close there, so we're going to move right along. Now, I have no idea how to write that symbol, but that's what it looks like if you were to write that. Maybe you want to get a tattoo and put that on your back or something there, nice feller. So, next we're going to move on down here, and it looks like maybe Czech is going to be next. Let's see how to say it in Czech here. Palivov drivi. Palivovy drivi.
Palivové dříví. Palivové dříví.
Okay, now that wasn't too bad. Moving right along, I was pretty close there. Some of these are easier than others, but let's take a look on what's next on the list now. It looks like we're moving on to Danish. Brande.
Prane. Prane.
Okay, well now, sometimes the letters just don't sound the same as the English language. I was pretty far off there. But let's move on. Maybe you'll learn something from that, and let's see what's next here. Yeah, it looks like the next language here is going to be Dutch. So welcome all of our Netherlands people. Let's try to get some Dutch. Brandhout.
Brandhout. Brandhout. Brandhout.
So now, there's another one that sounds just like it looks, and that's not too bad, so Brandhout. Let's move on down the list here, and it looks like we're going to be visiting the great country of France. Bois de chauffage. Bois de chauffage.
Bois de chauffage. Bois de chauffage. Bois de chauffage.
Well, I was pretty close there, bois de chauffage, and if you're ever in France, now you can know how to locate a fire if you need to. And just a hop, skip, and a jumping away, we have Germany. Brennholz.
Brennholz. Brennholz.
So there it is for our German friends. How do you stay warm in Germany? Brennholz. Let's move to Greece. Kafsoxylia. Kafsoxylia.
Kafsoxylia. Kafsoxylia.
Well, it seems my dyslexia has gotten the best of me there. Now, we're going to move through a few where they don't have the auto-translate button, but I just looked at them, and you can see how to try to pronounce that. There's Hawaii, it's Wahi, and there was another one I did in there, I think it was Haiti or Haitian, and they didn't have it, but there's Hebrew, and whatever the heck that says, you can try to say whatever that is. Not sure. That's Yiddish or Hebrew or something. I'm not sure what it's saying there. That's some weird-looking stuff. But I can't get it to do the auto-translate, so we're just going to kind of move on through these. And here we go with Hindi. Let's see, Hindi, if you're into Hindu. Jalao lakadi. Jalao lakadi.
Jalao lakadi. Jalao lakadi.
And Hungarian. Tuzifia. Tuzifa.
Tuzifa. Tuzifa.
That one's a bit of a doozy. Let's try Icelandic. Eldivio.
Eltivis. Eltivis.
Apparently that alphabet is also a little bit different than the English alphabet. So we'll move right along and get away from that. And let's see what we have next. It's Indonesian. Kayu bakar. Kayu bakar.
Kayu bakar. Kayu bakar.
I was right on the money there, pretty close. I think I could probably about go there and get around pretty good and speak to the local people. Certainly I would be fine to go to the beach and have a nice raging campfire, not a problem. Now, we're looking at Irish here, and they don't have the translate button again, which is surprising, but it's something like Canada, Italian, Linga da Ardir, Linga da Ardir.
Legna da ardere. Legna da ardere.
I think that's close enough. I just got to learn how to roll the R's there a little bit better, but I got it down. Maki.
Maki, maki, maki.
So that was Japanese, and you would think it would be a lot more difficult, but maki is a pretty easy word, and there again, if you want to get a tramp stamp, that might be a nice letter to choose. You could put that right there on your lower back and have a nice little tattoo there. Moving along now, there's a couple that don't have the translate button, and I tried to get Kazakh just for Borat, and they didn't have that, so we're going to try Korean. Jengjag, Jengjag.
장작. 장작. 장작.
Is it just me, or does that J sound like an S to anybody else? Thank you, Daniel-san. Well, we're going to move on away from that. I was a little bit off there, so now we're going to try some Latin. This is Latin. Lignorum. Lignorum.
Lignorum. Lignorum. Lignorum.
A little bit different there. It's like the G is silent in Latin. It's a little bit different than America. We got a little bit different pronunciation here. Malka. Malka.
Malka. Malka.
Okay, now Malka. That was Latvian. Malka is Latvian for Firewood. And next on the list, we're going to move over to Norway and speak a little Norwegian. Brinsel. Brinsel.
Brensel. Brensel. Brensel.
They seem to have a little bit different accent on the wrong syllable there, or I have the wrong accent on the wrong syllable, but still pretty close. I think if I was over there talking to somebody, they'd understand what the heck I was saying. I would just sound like I was from another country, you know what I mean? A little accent there. Druno Kominkow. Druno Kominkow.
Drewno kominkowe. Drewno kominkowe. Drewno kominkowe.
And that was Polish, so next in alphabetical order we have Portuguese. Lenha. Lenha.
Lenha, lenha, lenha.
Now that is very similar to a Spanish pronunciation, but there's no tilde on the nye. Limne de foc. Limne de foc.
Lemne de foc. Lemne de foc. Lemne de foc.
So that's Romanian, and you really got to watch your mouth over there. That's one of my favorites, Limne de foc. Drova. Drova.
Drava. Drava. Drava.
And here it is in Russian, it's a drova. And we'll see here in a minute now that it's the same word in Ukrainian, and I basically think Ukrainians pretty much speak Russian. I'm not an expert on the subject, but I think it's basically the same language. There might be some differences, not sure. Let me know in the comments, please. Agrevno drov. Agrevno drvo. Agrevno drvo.
Ogrevno drvo. Ogrevno drvo. Ogrevno drvo.
There's our Serbian friends now. Let's move over to Slovakia. Palivovi drovo. Palivovi drovo. Palivovi drevo.
Palivové drevo. Palivové drevo.
Well, that was pretty close. It's just got a little bit different cadence there. And now I look at a couple more examples where they don't really have the audible translate button, and you can just kind of read on the screen. Somali, that looks like Zabo, and let's move on to Spanish. Leña. Leña.
Leña. Leña.
Pretty much nailed that one, so let's move over to something a little more difficult and try Swahili. Kuni. Kuni.
Kuni, kuni, kuni.
And that was pretty easy, so let's move on over to Sweden. Ved. Ved.
Ved. Ved. Ved.
Now, maybe it's just me, but it sounds like there's an extra syllable in that word. It's a three-letter word, and they got two syllables in it. So I was a little bit off there, but let's move on over to some Thai. Fun. What's that? Foon. Foon.
Foon. Foon. Foon. Foon. Foon.
That's another one of my favorites now, and if you know anything about Thailand, you can have all kinds of food. Yakasak Odun. Yakasak Odun. Yakakakadun.
Yakacak odun. Yakacak odun. Yakacak odun.
So now there's Turkey, and that's a fun one. And then we look at Ukraine, and like I said, that's the same word as in Russian. It's a drova. And we're going to just go ahead and move on. We already did that now, and it's Vietnam. Quy. Quy.
Cui. Cui. Cui.
So that one there is a little bit different, and if you were to say Quy to them, they probably wouldn't know what the hell you were talking about. So it's Cui. Now, I appreciate y'all watching. Hope you learned something today, and don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video.